Sometimes a story just comes to you from out of the blue, and it wants to be written, and it wants to be told. And that's what happened to me with this story about loving and losing, and friendship and hope. Aarvy Aardvark moved slowly across the clearing. It was a sunny day. Aarvy hadn't noticed. Aarvy kept his snout to the ground. That snout was his friend. He could depend on it. He could depend on it to find food. He could depend on it to always be there. But today, even Aarvy's snout being there didn't help. It didn't comfort him, and he wasn't using it to gather food. Aarvy wasn't hungry again today. It all started when Aarvy's mother and his brother Varki were taken by some humans to a place called Zoo. Aarvy's mother had told him about that place. The humans had taken Aarvy's father there when Aarvy was barely knee-high to a baboon. At first, Aarvy had been so lonely for Clarice and Varki that he cried all day long. Lots of animals had come by to try to cheer Aarvy up. There were elephants and lions, a monkey and a gazelle, even a giraffe, and a rhino who lived far away joined the group that crowded around Aarvy. They said they wanted to make Aarvy feel better. But Aarvy didn't feel better, even with all the animals there. Aarvy felt all alone.
Poor dear, what can we do to help?
But Aarvy couldn't tell her. Aarvy didn't know.
I know. We don't have to worry. He's doing just as to be expected. You're depressed, Aarvy. 2 months from now, you'll feel angry, boy. Real angry. But as for now, you should talk to me. Get your feelings out. You've got to talk.
It's better not to care so much.
You'll be happy for them. They're in a better place now.
Yeah, Aarvy. You should remember the good times. Be glad you were with them as long as you were.
It's for your own good, boy. We're only trying to help. Get it out. Do it. Do it. We're just trying to help.
Forget about it, Aarvy.
Please, Aarvy, we love you.
Cheer up, Aarvy. Cheer up.
Yeah.
We're just trying to help. Talk to me.
Cheer up,
But Aarvy couldn't do it. Soon after that, the buzzard left. And later that day, the other animals left too.
Well, we tried.
We did our best.
That made Aarvy feel even worse. So today, in the clearing, Aarvy was all alone. He was remembering what the mockingbird had said.
You should remember the good times. You should remember the good times.
He tried to remember the good times. He tried to remember rainbows. Aarvy had always loved rainbows. He had often told his mother, Clarice, that someday he would climb one right to the top. Now, he couldn't even remember their colors. He even tried to remember playing with Barky. Once he puckered up his snout and tried to whistle the way he and Varky had done when they played. But no sound came.
Oh, what's the use? I'll never have fun again anyway.
Aarvy found that Ralphie Rabbit was different from the other animals. He was different because he didn't stay away. In fact, Ralphie Rabbit came back every day and sat beside Aarvy. He would sit for hours. Ralphie didn't seem to mind that Aarvy didn't talk.
It's okay. When my sister Shiley got caught in a trap, and I couldn't get her out, and she died. I couldn't talk about it either, not for a long, long time.
Ralphie Rabbit thumped the ground for ants for Aarvy to eat. When some ants came to the surface, he used his paws to move them closer to Aarvy's snout.
Go ahead, Aarvy. Eat some. It's okay.
When Aarvy moved so slowly that most of the ants ran away before he could eat them, Ralphie didn't even get mad.
You did fine, Aarvy. Just fine. Here, I'll help you find more. You know, Aarvy, it was many years ago, but I still remember how bad I felt when Shiley died. But now I mostly remember how much fun we used to have. Sometimes when I'm playing in the grass by the mud hole, or when a breeze tickles my fur just so, I remember Shiley. I remember how she...
As time went by, Ralphie told many stories
when she
about playing with Shiley.
I would wait very quietly outside the bushes for a long time. Then, all of a sudden, I'd thump real loudly on the ground and jump up and down and yell, "Woo-wee! Woo-wee!" We would fall down together and roll and laugh. We laughed until our sides hurt, until we could hardly move. In fact, Aarvy, we laughed until we cried, just for the fun of it.
Are you sure Shiley is really dead? Maybe she'll come back someday. How can you be sure about Dad?
I looked at her, and I saw that she wasn't breathing anymore. I spoke real loud to her.
Shiley!
As she didn't talk back.
Shiley!
Then I touched the pink part of her ear where she was ticklish. And she didn't even move. Mama said she would never hear or talk or move again. But you know what? Sometimes I feel like Shiley is really here in another way. Like she's inside my skin instead of outside of it. Sometimes I feel like Shiley is laughing from somewhere deep inside of me. Having Shiley inside of me makes me feel like I'm part of things. It makes me feel warm all over. Sometimes I still wish I could talk to Shiley in the old way. But mostly I'm happy when I think of her. I'm happy because I can remember her. I can still feel her. She's a part of me forever and ever.
Aarvy Aardvark wasn't always sure he liked Ralphie Rabbit being around. Sometimes, when he felt like crying, he'd feel embarrassed and want to be alone. Then he'd get angry at Ralphie.
Why don't you just go home? You make me mad. Always hanging around. Don't you have anything better to do, Ralphie Rabbit? Stupid rabbit! Good riddance to bad rabbits.
The next day, the clouds hung low, like heavy gray curtains drawn over the sun. Aarvy lay in their shadow all day long. He was tired, so tired that he barely moved. So tired that he didn't even open his eyes. But he couldn't sleep either. He didn't even daydream. But several times he said to himself,
I wish that I was dead.
When Aarvy finally did open his eyes, he saw the last glow of the setting sun break through the clouds. It was shining on Ralphie Rabbit's fur.
Hello, my friend. I've been waiting for you. How about you and me heading out to dinner over by the old oak tree? I hear there's some mighty fine eating over there. Come, I'll lead the way.
In the days that followed, Aarvy would often eat his fill and look skyward. He was surprised to find that food tasted good again. Aarvy would lie for hours and hours, watching the flight of the blue birds that filled the autumn skies. He would feel full and rather content. But although Aarvy could daydream, and although he felt somewhat happy, Aarvy never played.
I should stop this silly daydreaming. What good does it do anyway? And what good am I? Laying around doing nothing. Oh, why, I can't even whistle or kick up my heels like I did when Farky and Mother were here. Farky and Clarice. Mother. How dear they were.
How near who were?
Dear, not near. I was thinking about them. I was thinking about Mother and Farky.
Oh, yes, indeed. How dear. And how near.
Yes, indeed. How dear. And how near.
This time, it was Ralphie Rabbit who had tears in his eyes. For although he hadn't seen a smile on Aarvy's face, he was certain that from some place far away he had heard one begin to tiptoe into Aarvy's voice. Time went by. The seasons changed several times. Aarvy continued to watch the blue birds. Sometimes as he watched, Aarvy would lift his snout up off the ground. Then he'd wave it slowly through the air, as if he too were flying.
Flying is what birds are meant to do. And it must be fun for them, too. Just like Varky and me. We were meant to use our legs to dig for food and move around. And we had fun, sometimes. We whistled and snorted and zigzagged across clearings. And sometimes we got so frisky that we forgot we were aardvarks and jumped right off the ground.
The flying aardvarks. You and Varky must have looked pretty funny with all 4 feet in the air. Tell me more stories, Aarvy. I like to hear you talk.
That afternoon, Aarvy Aardvark talked and talked. He told many stories about Varky and Clarice. It got him to remembering his past. It got him to thinking about many things.
I wonder why we are born anyway. I wonder what we are meant to be like. I wonder if we're meant to have fun. Play is fun. Mother played. I remember when she would take Varky and me out to whistle and dance.
Then Aarvy told the story about the time Clarice had tried to jump off the ground with him. But instead of going up, she tripped over her snout and fell head over claws into a patch of daisies.
When she got up, she had a daisy hanging from her ear. And she laughed and laughed. Varky and I laughed too.
The memory of his mother in the patch of yellow daisies was so strong that Aarvy could see her. He could see her inside of himself.
The orange ribbon! Oh, I had forgotten about the orange ribbon Mother always wore. How could I have forgotten something we all love so much? Too much. I've forgotten too much. Birds do have fun. And they do feel free. And once, a long time ago, I did too. I felt free to play. play. Frida, what? To play. I was once, you know. I was remembering. Oh. Well then, let's do it again. Let's play Hide the Wild Carrot Root, or Wise Owl Says, or Pin the Tail on. Nah. I've forgotten all those silly games. I'd rather just lie here and watch the bluebirds fly. You go ahead, Ralphie. You play. Do that jig you like to do. I'll watch you.
All right.
But, dear Aarvy, I wish you would play.
Someday, I hope we can play together, my friend.
And so it was. He watched the birds flying above. He watched his friend Ralphie Rabbit hop and sing and do the wild Irish carrot jig. Once, Aarvy got so caught up in the movement that he puckered up his snout in much the same way he used to, and a sound came out.
Wow. Maybe I can whistle again.
The next season that passed was a long, wet season. During the rains, Aarvy had spent a lot of time all alone, usually inside, just listening to the rain and the wind, or putting his house in order. He also spent a lot of time talking with Ralphie. One evening, Ralphie and Aarvy talked late into the night about feelings. Aarvy told Ralphie about the time he had puckered up his snout and had almost whistled.
At first, after I did it, I felt really good. But later I felt bad.
Lots of animals don't trust their feelings, or they're scared of them.
Scared of feelings?
But I think feelings are a gift. They are friends that can help us. And they're always there because they live right inside of us. They might be painful or shake us up at times, but if we listen to them, they will tell us what we need so we can heal and grow. The thing to do with feelings is to invite them to come outside. When feelings come outside of us, we can let them go. Or better yet, we can dance with them.
Dance with your feelings? Huh. Dance with feelings.
After a while, Aarvy also discovered he no longer felt guilty about feeling good. He began to feel like he was okay, like he fit into things.
What a beautiful blue speck. Huh, a flower? It's a blue bird. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Aarvy noticed that the blue bird had beautiful orange feathers drawn like a ribbon around its neck.
Little bird. Oh, little bird. You're more beautiful than the sun's sparkle on a morning dewdrop. I love you.
Aarvy Aardvark didn't understand why he had said, "I love you," to the blue bird, but he didn't worry about why. He remembered what Ralphie had said about feelings.
I think feelings are a gift. They are friends that can help us. And they're always there because they live right inside us. The thing to do with feelings is to invite them to come outside in the open so we can dance with them.
Aarvy Aardvark liked what Ralphie had said about feelings, but he didn't understand it all, especially the part about dancing with feelings. He sure didn't feel like dancing right now. In fact, he didn't know what he was feeling. What Aarvy did know was that, for now at least, there were no more words he wanted to say. He knew he wanted to stay with the blue bird, perhaps forever. So Aarvy stayed, sitting quietly by its side. He just sat there and waited and waited. And when Aarvy felt like crying, he cried. And when Aarvy felt like speaking, he spoke.
My beautiful bird. My beautiful bird. How I do love you. My beautiful bird.
There you are, my friend. I've been looking for you. Are you ready to walk home together? Ah, a bluebird. Such a beautiful one. How did she die?
Die? I don't know. I found her lying very still. Oh, her feathers were catching the breeze. I've waited a long time for her to rise up. I wanted to see her fly. I thought maybe if I waited long enough, she'd come back home with me. I love her.
Of course. Of course you loved her. And perhaps you still do. But she is dead, my friend. What we have to do now is find a way we can remember her and her beauty. That way, we'll have her inside of us. The memories can help us grow. We need that, Aarvy, because you and I are alive. We have to remember that and not be ashamed. Come, my friend. We'll bury her.
It's hard work.
Yes, but it's good work. I picked these to lay on her. I chose only the prettiest ones.
Would it be okay to give her a name?
Yes, yes indeed. But what name?
Can we call her Clarice? It's a beautiful name.
I like that, Aarvy. It's a fine idea. Goodbye, beautiful Clarice. Goodbye. It helps to say goodbye, Aarvy. It's very hard. If we never say goodbye, we may never find out how to go on. Not really. And if we can't go on, how can we ever show others how beautiful Clarice was? Saying goodbye doesn't mean you have to forget Clarice. It means you accept what is, Aarvy. Then you'll be free to remember without it hurting so much. You might even find that saying goodbye to Clarice helps you say hello to life in a new, even a bigger and more loving way. I think she would like that, Aarvy.
Aarvy just looked at his friend Ralphie Rabbit. He felt a little confused, but he trusted Ralphie. And inside himself, Ralphie's words felt comfortable.
Come, my friend, let us sing. Clarice, Clarice, oh beautiful one, you lived, you played, you flied, you died. Clarice, Clarice, oh beautiful one, you lived, you played, you flied, you died. Clarice, Clarice, oh beautiful one, you lived, you played, you flied, you died.
They sang it many times. They didn't count how many.
Oh, beautiful one, you lived, you played, you flied, you died.
After a while, they found themselves being very still again. It was Aarvy Aardvark who pushed the first leaves on top of the grave. Aarvy was crying, but he didn't feel weak. He felt strong, stronger than he could ever imagine feeling. He could sing to Clarice. He could sing.
We better go now. Oh. 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 Mother once told me that rainbows happen when the weather's changing. Tomorrow, I will start practicing my whistle again. And perhaps someday soon, I'll start playing again. Perhaps someday soon, we'll play together. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And now you know the story of Aarvy Aardvark finds hope. And now the story has ended. And of course, the story has also just begun. For more information on Rainbow Connection books and tapes, or to order the Aarvy Aardvark book, teaching guide, or video, call 704-675-9670 or write Rainbow Connection, 477 Hannah Branch Road, Burnsville, North Carolina, 28714.